Welcome back and thanks for watching another episode of Coast to Coast Cooking. Today, you can hear my dog snoring in the background, sorry. Welcome back to Coast Cooking. Today we're going to be making one of my favorite easy weeknight dinners. It is a Vietnamese inspired bowl and we're going to be using seitan or seitan. I'm not really sure which way is the correct way to pronounce that. I think it's seitan. As our protein source in this one. And for all of you folks out there who are gluten intolerant, crispy tofu would also be an alternative for this. And for you meat eaters, chicken or shrimp. However, it uses rice noodles, so we're okay on that front, and a nice array of vegetables that you see in front of me. So with that being said, let's get started on cooking. So we're going to start out by actually cutting up all of our veggies to go into the Vietnamese bowl. I'm starting with the snoring. I'm starting with a small bundle of coriander or cilantro, and this is more honestly for a splash of color and just freshness overall. So if you're not a big fan of coriander, you can leave it out or alternatively use parsley. So we're just gonna finally mince that up a little bit. Moving our coriander to the side, we're going to use a long English cucumber and thinly slice off a few pieces of this. So I'm just making little piles as to not chop my fingers, and then we're going to cut them into small lengthwise strips. And then I have some red bell pepper we're going to slice up. You can use whatever kind of bell pepper you want. To be honest, if you don't like bell pepper, you don't have to include it. One of the beauties of this recipe is you can really sort of throw in what you have available to you. I do recommend any things with a bit of a crisp bite and some freshness to them go really well though. Okay, and then I have 3 sprigs of green onion that we're going to top off with, that we're going to chop up as well. I also have about 1/4 of a head of iceberg lettuce. This is going to add a really nice crunch to the dish. Alternatively, you could also use cabbage, but it just doesn't give quite the same refreshing bite as iceberg lettuce. And we're going to slice this really nice and thin. Okay, and last but not least, the only other vegetable we're going to be cutting up is 1 red Thai chili. This is going to be used to infuse our sauce with. You could also put it right into the dish itself if you do like things a little hotter. I won't lie, I'm a bit of a wimp with the spice, so I just use 1 and infuse the sauce. I also remove the seeds. You can definitely leave those in if you prefer it to be a little more spicy. Now, you can definitely make your own sauce for this quite easily. However, because this is a quick Monday night meal, I am going to be showing you a pre-bottled sauce that you can use. This one is called Blue Dragon Vietnamese dipping sauce. So I put my chilies in my little sauce dish and I'm just gonna top it with about 1/2 inch deep of my sauce and let those flavors get to know each other in there. Okay, so in a previous video, I did show you how to make a basic seitan recipe. So this is kind of what it comes out looking like. It looks kind of like a sad steak, but it's going to be the star of our show, and I promise it tastes so much better than it looks. So we're going to go ahead and cut this up into about, let's call it 1/4 centimeter, to 1/2 centimeter thick pieces. And then sort of about 1 inch long. And then we're going to toss them in a little coating to get them nice and crispy. And again, if you are gluten-free, you could definitely use tofu as a replacement for this. Cook it the exact same way I'm about to show you. Alternatively, for meat eaters, chicken would do really well here, or shrimp would be my other recommendation. And just to give you a quick glance, this is sort of what the inside looks like. So I'm going to be cutting these pieces to about 1 inch long and pretty darn thin, about 1/2 centimeter. And those should crisp up really nicely for us. You want to definitely crisp them up and give them a bit of a textural bite. And even if you think, hey, you know, this might look like a little bit too much crispiness, the sauce actually kind of counteracts it when you add it after, and it works really, really well. So I've gone ahead and added our Seitan chunks into a bowl. So keep in mind, these are very high protein. So the flour that's used to make them is about 23-24 grams per quarter cup, I believe, of protein. And there's chickpea flour in there as well. So just keep that in mind, that a little goes a long way when it comes to Seitan. So to this, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of cornstarch and about a teaspoon of Chinese 5 spice, just to give it a little bit of an extra kick. And yeah, to go ahead and stir them up like that. And this is what we're left with. Okay, so we need to cook the noodles. So these are vermicelli rice noodles. I'll show you the pack here. Easy and affordable. It's literally rice flour and water, the only 2 ingredients. Just cook according to package instructions. So for these ones, I'm just having them in a bowl here and dumping boiling water over them to soak until tender for a few minutes. You can definitely make these ahead of time as well, because they're going to be cold for the dish anyway. Next, we're going to heat up a frying pan on medium-high heat, and once it's heated, we're going to throw our Seitan in there and crisp it up on both sides. So I've added about 1.5 tablespoons of neutral oil to the pan, and now we're going to go ahead and add our Seitan. So here it is before we put it in, all coated, and we're just going to let those get nice and crispy on one side, and then we'll rotate them over and flip them. Just keep a close eye on them. They get really crispy really fast once they start bubbling away there. Okay, our Seitan is nice and crispy on one side. So we're just going to go through and flip them over. Give you a nice look at the crisp there. In the meantime, I'm also, oh, you can hear it really sizzling. This is about 1 tablespoon of neutral oil again, and about 1/4 cup of water. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of neutral oil and 1/4 cup of water, and I'm gonna put some pre-made vegetarian gyozas in here, or dumplings. I just think it's a nice additive. And what you want to do with these, if you decide to add them into your dish, is put them in here, put a lid on, and let them steam. Oh, we got a flipper. And when they steam, the water will evaporate down to the oil, and then they'll have a chance to get nice and crispy on the bottom, and that's when we remove our lid. Alright, so now that everything is cooked, we're just plating up here all the good stuff. So we have the vermicelli noodles cooked and drained, some of those nice sliced up fresh cucumbers. We're gonna add in some red pepper. Beautiful. A nice generous handful of our iceberg lettuce on the side here. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna grab our crispy Seitan to go in the middle. We're just gonna pile high some of these suckers right in the center. Okay, we're gonna put our sauce in here on the side. Put some green onions over here. And finally, top it with a little bit of cilantro. Oh, and I almost forgot. I actually did some homemade pickled julienne carrots, and these will go awesome on here. So I'm just gonna add a couple of them on the side. Nice pop of color, nice texture, nice flavor. Beautiful. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Coast to Coast Cooking. I hope you enjoyed this easy Monday night dinner. And I hope that you enjoyed learning how to use some Seitan. I'm happy to make more videos to use Seitan in different ways. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that. Also let me know if you would like to see a video on how I do quick pickling for things like my carrots that were in this video. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.